Hi, guys. Welcome to the first episode of Untitled Campfire Project. Yes, it's a working title, but I'm joined here with Anand Samudre.
Hello.
I'm also with Aditya Dinesh.
You.
So, this project is going to be about discussing real life horror stories and generally scary encounters that people have gone through or experienced, and we'll be discussing and basically telling these stories on the podcast, discussing probabilities, possibilities as to what happened. Could it be coincidences or just uh, actual events of horror that took place in their lives? So we will get around to the stories in a bit, but just so that you get a basic idea of what exactly we're trying to do, uh, I want to start by asking my friends here a little question. What is what is the one thing you're most afraid of? I feel like that's a great start, right? That's a,
Mm.
Yeah. I think.
Uh, I would say, I would say, I'm very scared of the dark.
the dark. Okay.
Mhm.
Is it like a? Are you scared of what's in the dark or just the dark?
Just the dark, like the absence of light is, I don't know,
The
just freaks me
inability
out.
to see like that.
Yeah, and like I don't know, it's like it's scary. Like you've had your friends prank you, right? Like you're in the dark and someone just comes out
Hold
like
up.
a
What?
jump scare.
No,
Yeah.
wait.
No, 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 like a jump scare. Yo,
Wait, no,
nah,
no.
bro.
Hold up.
Yeah,
Backtrack a little bit. What did you say?
yo. So, what do you mean?
I've had my friends do what?
Prank?
Prank you.
Prank.
Prank you?
Oh
Yeah, what
shit.
did
Okay,
you?
yeah.
Hey,
Bro,
man.
I heard
This is
spank.
too early in the podcast for that, you know?
Yo, I'm just like
Like,
man's talking about spanking. I mean, that can,
I mean,
you
that
know,
can relate to like trauma, which can be a
yeah.
phobia also. Yeah.
I don't think we should joke about this right
First,
now,
It's not a
guys.
Aditya,
joke. It's not a joke.
first episode, Aditya. Chill
It's
out.
not a
First
joke. Okay.
episode.
Yeah.
First
Continue.
episode.
Continue. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so scared of the dark, really, and I'm really scared of being lonely. Yeah, like, I know it
You
sounds.
started laughing, not
No
me.
one laughed.
I didn't do anything.
I
You
know, I
started.
know, I
Yeah.
know. But think about it, right? Think about it.
No, I
Even
think
if
about it every day.
no,
Sorry, keep going.
no. But like yours is different, right? Anyway, I'm
What?
saying like what?
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 How's
Okay, cool.
okay?
I'm saying right. Imagine your current surroundings, but without anyone else except you. Isn't that a scary thought?
You mean like in the whole world?
Sure. Or as long as it is accessible to you. Like you have no car, you have no bike. It's just you by foot and like a 10-kilometer radius. There's no one else.
Oh
Even in daylight,
yeah, for
that's
sure.
sort of a scary thought.
Yeah,
Even in daylight.
I mean, especially with the
So
circumstances we're in, the whole lockdown thing,
yeah,
it
yeah.
can get
Even
kind of
otherwise, like
yeah.
that's the thing. I'm scared of the dark and like being like super lonely. Mix those and it's my nightmare.
So basically, if you're alone in the dark, it means you shat yourself.
I am shitting
Mm,
myself. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, yeah.
yeah. So
Aditya.
I would say I'm afraid of the depth. Like I've thought about this like for a long time. Like what am I actually afraid of? Like I'm little afraid of height, of like darkness, and like
Yeah.
like being like helpless. When you're like when I say depth, I mean like underwater, like
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
like when there's like after you go like below a certain depth, like it's
Yeah.
Hmm.
like
Let's say 50
ocean.
feet.
Yeah, 50
Yeah.
feet. It's like this way it's darkness, the other way it's like light, and you can't
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if you
Yeah.
if you're there, you can't like scream for help or anything. If you're
Yeah,
like
bro, I'm
there, you're
very
gone.
scared of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and plus it's the ocean. Like who knows what can be in there?
yeah.
Like
Yeah, dude. Have you seen the
damn
sea
scary,
creatures and shit? Fucking
Yeah.
20
scary
feet
shit.
Like,
spiders and like
yeah.
water spiders. Water spiders, my
Water
guy.
spiders. Oh
Can you
my!
imagine that shit?
I don't want to imagine
Yeah,
that shit.
don't.
Yeah. I had a giant scorpion mutant dream the other day. I told Sid
Yeah, you
about it.
did.
It was
What?
scary. You know what? We'll cover it in one of the episodes later.
Yeah,
Nightmares. Yeah, we should. Nightmares
Yeah,
is horror.
nightmares.
yeah.
Yeah,
More content.
yeah,
Nice.
So yeah,
yeah,
depth is my biggest fear.
yeah. Which is why your personality also lacks it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oof.
Nice.
Oh,
I'm
bro,
sorry.
that
I'm sorry. It
was.
was right
So
there.
you're
It
waiting
was
for
right
it,
there.
no? Yeah.
Oh
I'm
shit.
sorry. You know now. I'm
Oh,
sorry. You know now. You know how it
ouch.
is, bro. Yeah. Siddharth,
He's
what's
afraid of
your fear?
podcasts now.
Yeah, damn, bro.
My yeah, I'm kind of basic with that in the sense I just have arachnophobia. I do not. I mean, it's like in insects and bugs. Like I do not like things with more than four legs. You know, and
Mm.
like shit that
Hmm.
buzz and fly around. Like I have this horrible fear of them like biting me. You know, and have you seen like what is that Dwayne Johnson movie where he's like in Egypt and shit? The Mummy, yeah, something. No, not the Mummy. What is other?
Jumanji.
No, Dwayne Johnson, the
Jumanji?
Scorpion King. Yeah, the Scorpion King.
Oh, Mummy. Okay,
Yeah,
actually, the
Okay.
old one.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
There's one scene where like there's a spider in one of the like
It comes
there's a
from inside him, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're
The
talking about.
spider's inside his skin.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it
Oh,
freaked me out
that's grim,
so
bro.
much.
I've not seen this.
Yeah, I do not like that. I don't like spiders or like bugs or any insects and that kind. I like what like big heights. You know, I always wanted to free fall or like skydive.
Mm.
Again, I do not like the deep sea as well. So I don't know if these count as phobias, but recently I was doing some reading, and you know how World War I vets, most of them have developed a sense of claustrophobia because of trench
Mm-hmm.
warfare.
Mm.
Yeah.
You look at some of the pictures of these trenches, okay, and it's like 2 to 3 feet wide, and you can barely fit like your like a one average sized person, and there are people inside, like all sitting in the trench and like in tunnels and stuff, you know.
Mm.
And I'm
Mm.
just wondering, like looking at these pictures make me kind of choke, not choke as in I just kind of get breathless. I'm like, there's no oxygen, you know.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I have
Yeah.
claustrophobia, but I see these pictures, you know. And like, dude, there's an episode in Peaky Blinders like where Tommy is like, oh, I'll do it myself, and he goes and he crawls through to like get the Russian jewels and shit, and he's in the tunnel, and it's like a super deep tunnel, and he's like midway, and he's like digging, and he doesn't have space to even shift and turn around, and there's a dude behind him
Mm.
saying, come back. How would he begin to come back? Like, how do you crawl out? The only way is forward, and he keeps digging and you keep going forward. So you just think about like tunnelers and people who've like been in the trenches and shit, and that shit is crazy, dude, you know. I look around and I'm like, I have so much space in my room. I'm so happy about it. But like, just imagine if like the walls slowly close around you until you only have like space for just you, and maybe to like to move your hands up and down and stuff. Yeah, yeah. I went on a rant there.
Yeah, I
But
think I
Woo!
think things like those are
Sheesh.
like natural fears. It's like any
yeah, possibly.
person with a sane mind would like fear like small
Mhm.
gaps and like being stuck there, or like there are like animals like snakes and stuff. Like humans have like through evolution, like it's like in our like brains, it's
Do you
like
want to say like one more time?
fuck you.
Bro, leave him alone.
It's programmed in our brains to be afraid of those animals, you know?
Yeah.
Just like
Okay.
that, there are like different things. Maybe heights are like that. Maybe we have
Mhm.
evolved to like be afraid of, tall like places, and especially like people from different regions, maybe they have different fears. So many of these phobias, maybe it's like something like deep inside us.
Yeah. Oh, think about that. How if like fear and like general phobia is run by genetics as well.
Yeah.
Like because your
I
ancestors.
think that's a thing. I think that's a thing.
Yeah, it possibly is. It makes sense. Like what Adi just now said, the whole mechanism to like generate fears because of your natural fear of death. You know, like you see a snake and you're just like, nope. You know, like
Yeah.
because you know from education and like probably maybe personal experience, but you would know, like, that a certain, like, you can't just run in front of a tiger and be like, yo, what's up, and expect
Hmm.
him to dap you up or some shit. You're getting
Mm-hmm.
eat, you know so, like, it's natural. And if that is ingrained in a kind of a lifestyle, like, imagine this is a region in some, like, some kind of place, and they all collectively have a fear of Bigfoot. They've probably never even seen Bigfoot, but it's
Mm-hmm.
the only thing that plagues them,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
because it's what reality is to them. They live in the forest, and 2 kilometers into the dense jungle, there lives a Sasquatch, and the big man has terrorized them for years to come. It kind of also has it's a commentary on how irrational fear is developed. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you may not know a certain thing exists, but you're afraid of the idea of it. You'll be like,
Yeah,
Dada
I don't think calling them irrational fears is like correct because you literally don't know what's there.
yeah.
How can you call it irrational? Like
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, it only count as irrational once proved with evidence against it.
exactly,
Yeah, so sorry.
exactly.
Poor choice of
Now,
words.
if no, because that's a common thing people say.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
they're like, "What's your irrational fear?" It's not an irrational fear if you think about it.
But is it
Like,
rational
let's
though?
say, okay, let's say deep sea, right? We all share that fear,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Because you don't know what's down there.
But
Humans have barely uh, discover discovered the ocean.
yeah, but we do know what can be down there. So we have
Do
like,
we?
yeah, I mean, we know sharks can be there. We know like scare like
Sharks
sea
are
spiders
sharks
or
are a sharks are a fairly common thing, I think.
yeah, that's what. So we know like we could encounter shark there. So yeah, just better not
What if
be
there's
there.
like what if you go 100,000 feet deep and you find like a three-headed monster? That would be
Yeah, I mean,
Fun.
bonkers. Fun? Nah, I don't think fun is the word I'm going for.
if you're afraid of depth because you're afraid of some three-headed monster that could be in there,
Yeah.
you could
That's
say
just one
that's
of the things. That's one of the things. Okay, imagine this,
yeah.
right? You're 100,000 feet below, and I don't know, your fucking oxygen stops working or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
How scary is that thought? Like, you know what? Screw 100,000 feet. 50 feet.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
50 feet, yo. Like, if your oxygen thingy stops, and even if you're with a whatever trainer,
Yeah.
someone who's guiding you through the dive, which is most times the case, it's still very scary because I've seen a bunch of these type of videos. I don't know why, but yeah, I've just seen a couple of videos about this, and it's just like, yeah, I don't know.
source, just trust me, bro.
No,
Nah, I
it
get you.
can be
Yeah,
I get what you mean.
scary. It can be scary. I mean, I think so personally my like biggest fear is like depths, but I've been like scuba diving like twice and each time like I've been like every time I go there like it's this like a rush, it's like fuck I'm
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
this.
yeah.
yeah.
As soon as I'm there, like I'm like okay, like there's this
It's a
because
great feeling.
yeah, it's a great feeling. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
when I get out, I'm like, fuck, how did I just do that? You know?
yeah.
I think it's
I've been once. I've been once. The adrenaline is
is what
crazy.
calms it
Like,
calms you down in a way.
and it's crazy because when I'm underwater, right? When I was underwater, it was all calm and this thing because I'm a huge fan of space.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I think that was the closest experience I've had to being in space in a way.
Yeah,
Hmm.
You know,
makes sense.
that was very calm and like very peaceful and stuff. But when I got out was when my heart was like pumping the whole like the adrenaline rush.
Do you know why?
It was crazy.
So, like, there is the concept of Nietzsche, right? Which talk
Nishi,
Nietzsche. It talks about super. I mean, kind of. I'm not exactly well versed in this, but probably listeners, they might be getting triggered of my
Don't fact
pronunciation
check, yeah.
itself.
Don't fact check.
Should I do a fact check? Nah, nah.
Nah, nah.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's it, and
Yeah.
I will probably correct
I mean, it's the
myself
first
later.
episode. What's
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can do
So
a fact check. Like
it's
I'm just saying.
basically about the
Okay.
concept of being of pushing beyond the average human capability, you know.
Oh, okay.
And like, how we exist as average human beings with like fears, desires, passions, vices, those kind of stuff, right? So one
Hmm.
elementary concept of achieving this form of, I won't say supernaturalism, I will say an enhanced human state, is
Hmm.
the process of elimination of fear, you know.
Mhm.
And do you know where this concept is very popularly used in one kind of media, but we don't even realize it. And I'll probably blow your minds when I say this right now.
Advertising.
How
Interesting. Yeah.
I don't know.
Explore.
As you just said.
Huh, let me I took a dramatic pause to blow your mind. Wait.
Okay, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
okay.
So
Go ahead.
again, I am a man of no research, but it's an observation. So the concept of
Okay.
elimination of fear to achieve a human state that is enhanced, comparatively enhanced to the average one, it has been done
Uh-huh.
in a certain video game that we've been playing for years and years and years. Even right now, I still play one of the games. It
Mario.
No,
I
it
mean,
is the
think
concept.
actually.
Fucking let me do the.
Oh, okay, okay.
It
How
is
not to do a
wait,
podcast?
wait, 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 wait. It is the concept
Uh,
of the leap of faith from Assassin's Creed. Okay, your minds aren't blown. I'm sorry.
no, it's
Wait.
not like
No,
explain, explain.
like it is kind of blown, but I thought you'd go for a very common game like Mario or something. Assassin's
Yeah,
Creed is not a
Huh.
common
Oh, I
game.
saw Assassin's Creed. I saw Assassin's Creed is a super popular game. What are you talking about?
Yeah, because we are gamers today, no. But
Dog,
for
yeah,
there is
someone
a
like Adi,
there's a
yeah. I
m-
haven't.
who
I know the
hello,
game, but I
is
but he
haven't
knows
played the
what it
game.
is. And there's
Yeah,
there's a
sure.
Michael Fassbender feature movie, bro.
It sucks, so I didn't watch
It
it.
sucks. Yeah,
So
it's trash. If you
yeah.
want us to review movies, stop. Like, yeah, but no, for real. Like
that was so sus.
the way the way it works is
Uh-huh.
basically all the assassins, they are asked to the main rule is to hide in plain sight, you know.
Mhm.
And a stuff like a leap of faith is you climb to like a super high like tower or any kind of thing, and you jump off and there's a convenient water body or haystack, right? That's what it is. But the whole concept behind it is a leap of faith. And what are you putting your faith in exactly? It is not a god or the creed. I mean, maybe the creed if you think about it, but uh, it's in your body. You put faith, and you eliminate the fear of falling, the fear of death, you know. And you just jump off the ledge and you kind of soar. That's why they have that magnificent form, because when they jump like that eagle and they start slow. I'm making a lot of hand gestures right now. The listeners can't hear me, but like people who've played the game, they'll know that.
Listeners can't hear you, yeah.
No, listeners can't see me is what I meant.
Oh,
uh
okay, okay.
fuck you. They jump off the tower and they take this swan dive kind of pose, that it both means like they if it's like they've transformed mid jump and they've eliminated fear. That's why they do all the crazy shit that they can do, assassins. They can climb shit and like take on like 50 bad guys together and stuff. So elimination of fear is one thing that created these enhanced human beings, which we called assassins. And they
Mm.
like modern day assassins. There are many theories that the assassins were like the part of the like Illuminati and shit. So like again, concepts of these very same concepts have been explained in many ways. Andy, you've read Mein Kampf, right? you know yeah, yeah. So Adolf Hitler was a believer in like being pure, being the strongest, most natural race,
Yeah, we
to
know.
exist. That kind of stuff. So these mentalities have been passed down generation to generation through figures of history, you know. And the one I've noticed, that's why I've suggested this podcast to talk about fear, is because the concept of fear is the only one that binds human beings together. It is one of the only universal languages aside from like music or like love or like
Laughter.
laughter, stuff like that. But fear is such a powerful one because it can be both controlling and extremely freeing. depending upon
Hmm.
where you stand, you know. So yeah,
I
that's
mean,
it.
it can also be like a sign of um, intelligence and sign of like um,
Yeah, survival
self like
mechanisms.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
Darwinism.
yeah, any animal that doesn't have like the concept of fear, they won't like survive the whole this food chain or whatever. They won't
Yeah,
exist like
natural selection.
yeah, they won't pass natural selection. So I think that's the thing, like that's the line that divides rational and irrational fear.
Hmm.
All the fears that is required for you to like actually exist and pass the natural selection, those are rational fears, and you need to have them. Then there are irrational fears, and when you said about a whole like eliminating fear, I mean there are certain like rational fears that you eliminate to achieve
Yeah,
feats like jumping off a tall building or
yeah,
doing some mad stunts. So you could say in a way that's like defeating the whole like intelligence thing, because you're taking a huge risk by doing taking a leap of faith.
yeah. You could argue that some people, like those kind of people, they know the difference between like stupidity and like they know that they can do this, aside from something that's almost like there's no way you're gonna survive that. You know, like the whole
Mhm.
daredevil concept comes from we're gonna try this stunt, you know, because we think we can survive. You know, very rarely you find daredevils who have suicide wishes. You know, what there was even a skateboard like skateboard kind of brand, uh something related to that. uh,
Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk is is a skater. uh
He's not a
It's a
skater. He's a
skateboard.
Skateboarder,
skateboarder.
yeah.
What do you mean? What did you say?
Pro skater is what they, I mean, they call it that, don't they?
No,
I don't
what are
think
you talking
skate
about?
is it skateboarder. Nah,
Yeah,
doesn't matter. That's not important. We don't. Tony Hawk is cool and all, but that doesn't matter right now. What was I saying? Shit.
there was a
Some
pro skater
speedboat
thingy or something.
company.
Yeah.
I understood nothing.
You what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Some skateboarding thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, the
What?
the Daredevil concept. They don't
Uh-huh.
have suicide like a death wish, death wish. You know,
hmm.
I think that is the thing I was looking for. They don't have death wishes. They know what they can survive and what they cannot. You know, and people who like end up dying is probably because they've made a mistake or they were just stupid. You know, adrenaline junkies, the guys who like have BMXs on roofs of the buildings and all. You could call it awesome, you could call it stupid, but in a way, they've kind of eliminated that fear.
Yeah, but they still have to like on a daily basis, like when they're doing this, they have to face the concept of death, Like there
Yeah.
are I was thinking of this movie about Ghost Rider,
Hmm.
where his Ghost Rider, the main character's father was
Nicholas Cage.
uh yeah, yeah, Nicholas
Yeah,
Cage.
yeah, his father.
His father was a like stunt guy, like bike stunt guy, just like him,
Yeah, yeah.
and he died like
He-
performing his stunt or whatever. And the whole like concept of this is like you're taking this risk, and bro, you have no control over like what will happen, and you will like the more you do it, more the probability of like one day something going wrong and you dying, like you're just increasing the probability on a daily basis. So
yeah, I mean,
at a point it's just like you're it's just a massive gamble, like you have
it
to
is,
it's
but again, like you're right. I see what you're trying to say, but we wouldn't, like the three of us, none of us would have any idea what exactly happens in that field, you know?
Mhm.
Like I
Yeah, I know.
you do?
Yeah,
What?
I'm
You're a stuntman, huh?
I'm an adrenaline junkie.
Are you? How so, my
Yeah,
friend? How so?
I I run.
Mad. Yeah.
Oof.
I mean,
Fear of
it's
death is
true.
in
I
front of
mean,
him
with
every day.
yeah.
Uh, I'm
Okay,
also
do you want to know a fun fact? Fun fact, thing.
go for it. Tell me.
Yeah.
Do you know the etymology? The etymology is basically
Uh-huh.
what's the process of the word coming through. to current usage.
Uh-huh.
You know what the etymology of the word assassin is?
As as
Hash in. So they
Ooh,
were mercenaries, killers type people who were very infamous for
smoking
smoking hash.
hash. What really?
So
That's
what does
nowhere
that say about
What
in.
really?
buddy?
I was kidding.
Listen,
Oh
it's
wow.
it's a fun fact. Yo, listen, man don't spread myths, okay?
Wait,
That's
come again.
interesting.
What was it? Hash in.
Hashashin, like it's an Arabic origin of
Oh
the word.
Okay.
wow.
Yeah. That's where hash comes from. Hashish
From
is
assassins.
what hash. No, you dumb. Okay, never mind.
Great start.
Um,
Yeah.
okay, these are your like offbeat whatever fears and rational irrational fears, whatever you call
Yes.
them. I want to know where you guys stand with conventional horror, like spirits and yeah, stuff like that, supernatural stuff.
I'm just at a like I haven't had many. I've had a couple experiences. No, not couple. I can't even say couple. I'll just say one, but that's not even related. So I would say that nothing's happened in my life for me to feel a certain way yet. But listening to other people's stories and discussing their horrifying encounters, it gets me really psyched. I love listening to stories. I love telling stories. That's the primary reason for this podcast. So yeah, I don't know myself.
Adi,
Mm. I wouldn't say I have any significant experiences or anything. I would say I'm more of a skeptic. Like I find these like things interesting, but
that's you just saying that
Dude,
because it's a cool word, no?
man
no,
just put the
it's true,
badge on him. I
bro.
am the
I'm
skeptic.
I'm
Skeptic.
hella
Yeah.
skeptic, bro. Like, come
What does
on.
it mean?
If you
Please
say
explain for our
anything,
You're hella skeptic.
uninitiated
if you say anything
listeners.
unexplainable, I always try to find something like that can explain it. I don't believe in like anything that's like will
All
always
right,
be a
okay,
mystery.
okay. That should be
Okay, okay,
interesting.
okay, okay. Me personally, I'm not a skeptic or anything. I'm like I'm a guy on the fence. I don't know, you know.
How tall is the
Like
fence?
the fence is like I want to say 6 feet. Just
Mm.
yeah. So I'm on the fence, right? Stop wondering how I'll climb. I'll make it, bro.
I didn't
Yeah,
say I didn't say bro. Nah,
there
nah,
might be
nah.
Okay,
a
That's not what I
damn.
meant.
ladder or something. That's fine.
Yeah. So yeah. So I am on the fence because I don't believe in God. I don't believe in like yeah. I don't believe in God. I believe
In Shrek.
exactly,
Gang. That's
Yeah,
fine.
and
gang.
so I don't know where I'm at with negative bodies like spirits and stuff. But that being said, I am very scared. I'm very scared of these things. But also that being said,
Bro, that
I
was amazing.
actively, I actively look up horror stories and horror movies and horror podcasts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just I don't know. I'm an adrenaline junkie in it, so
Yeah.
I just do it. Not in the night, obviously, because I
Sorry,
won't sleep
sorry. What do you do?
if
What do
I
you do in the
do.
night?
I don't consume horror in the night.
Oh,
Is what I'm going for.
okay.
Unless I'm with a group of people. Because then it's like you said, it's like a bonding thing, you know.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that's where I'm at with conventional horror. Yeah.
Cool.
That's fair. Yeah. So I mean I think I would also kind of agree with you in terms of my stance, but again it'll have to depend on the stories we hear. Now, speaking of
Um,
stories we hear, we come to the main chunk of what this podcast is going to be about.
Finally.
This is going to be the main content. So, what we like doing is hearing these horror stories, or consuming horror, like my friend Anand put it. I don't know why I like saying that. Consuming horror,
Mm.
consuming, I don't know. It has a
like
nice
a
ring
like
to
a
it.
like a sexy
Get
like a
it?
sexy
Nice
milk
ring to it.
sexy milkshake. Fucking
Nice
nice.
ring to
I
it.
don't get it.
Oh, the Ring, the movie. You're making
The
a.
Oh.
ri- Never mind,
No,
Adi.
no, was that
Okay,
the reference? Was that the reference?
that was the reference. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Nice.
Good one.
Um. Yeah, so yeah, stories, bro. We
Stories.
all of us here, we love stories.
So the people listening to this
So
podcast, we conducted a little project which we will be doing from now on. We would be opening up our DMs to people who are willing to share their stories regarding horror experiences. Now, these horror experiences do not it's not exclusive to only like
conventional horror.
conventional horror, like Anand said, like ghosts or spirits or like zombies or my uncle is a Dracula, that kind of shit. Horror could be anything, so anything that gets you shaking or gets you sweating or gives your stomach a little bit of a twist. This could have, like, you can have scary experiences with other people, with stalkers, with being with working late at night and you see something like this, like anything. I've had a personal experience of sleep paralysis, which we I want to get to in one episode, where we talk about the kind of shit that happens during sleep paralysis. So
Mm-hmm.
this is just me informing the listeners of this great podcast that if you have any stories regarding any horrifying experience something that's happened to you or happened to someone that you know, and you want to share it to us, and we will discuss and narrate this story on the podcast, as my friend
Yeah.
Anand Samudre will be doing right now.
So yeah, and if you want to remain anonymous, that's completely fine. That's another thing we just want to add. But if you want to shout out, however, from the 6 potential listeners, you can have it.
Don't
Um,
say that.
I mean, first episode, so I don't know.
I love the confidence.
If we have more than 6 people, please comment down below. We would love to see the response. Okay. Anyway, I, my
Uh,
friends, have a story for you
Oh.
that we are gonna dissect. Okay. Now, they don't know anything about the story. I have read the story only yesterday. Not thought about it a lot, except I just want to say it gave me the chills. Um, this is a story from Reddit. Now, we got a few personal stories as well, but since the first episode was supposed to be introductory of sorts, we thought we would just, pick a random story and do it. Yeah, hopefully we get enough personal stories for that'll suffice us for the next podcast. But let's see. Okay, cool. Are you guys ready?
yes,
Oh,
sir.
I'm more than ready. I'm strapped in.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the story is called This New Old House. Okay.
Paradox. That's paradox, right?
Is it oxymoron?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Paradox, no. Paradox, no.
Yeah. Look at us trying to sound like
Bro,
we're
yeah.
smart and we know our shit.
We're off to a great start.
We know big words. Come on. Paradox. Okay, cool. I'm starting. Okay? So start the
Yeah.
fuck up. We bought an old house, my boyfriend and I. I'm narrating, so don't give me those weird looks.
Dude, just tell the story.
Okay,
No one
we
cares.
bought an old
It's
house, my
2021.
boyfriend and I. Yeah, but okay.
Just tell the story.
Shut up.
Okay.
Okay. Adi, put in some serious like background
Yeah.
music
Oh,
and
bro,
shit
this
for
this
it.
part should be hella edited.
Okay.
Like whenever someone interrupts, just stop the music. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay, let's
don't
start.
Like
interrupt.
here's an example. We bought an old house, my boyfriend and I.
And then if I interrupt, like out of nowhere, the music stops.
Yeah, you know?
And everyone hates me.
Dun, dun.
And everyone
Yeah.
hates me for stopping the flow.
Yeah.
That kind of
Sounds
stuff.
cool, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
You want all the
We bought an
attention.
old house. We bought an old house, my boyfriend and I. He's in charge of the new construction, converting the kitchen into the master bedroom, for instance, while I am on wallpaper removal duty. The previous owner papered every wall and ceiling. Removing it is brutal but oddly satisfying. The best feeling is getting a long peel, similar to your skin when you're peeling from a sunburn. We all know the feeling,
Can't
right?
relate. No.
I can't relate. I don't know.
Okay, have you ever, as a kid, have you ever covered your hands up in glue?
Yes.
Like,
Oh,
and then,
yeah. I
yeah,
recall.
so, stuff like that. Yeah. The best feeling is getting a long peel, similar to your skin when you're peeling from a sunburn. I don't know about you, but I kind of make a game of peeling, on the hunt for the longest piece before it rips. Under a corner section of paper, in every room is a person's name and a date. Curiosity got the best of me one night when I googled one of the names and discovered the person was actually a missing person. The missing date matched the missing date matched the date under the wallpaper. The next day, I made a list of all the names and dates. Sure enough, each name was of a missing person with dates to match. We notified the police, who naturally sent out the crime scene team. I overheard one text say, "Yup, it's human." Human? What's human? Ma'am, where is the material you removed from the walls already? That isn't wallpaper you were removing.
Oh,
It's skin.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Wait. Hold up. She,
um,
I, she was removed.
I
She
mean,
was.
how did she? How do you not know it's skin? Like, I think like you would like
And the
have like
skeptic has begun.
It's wallpaper, you know?
yeah, but
And like
it's
I
human skin. It's organic material though.
one look at the story and you know it's American, you know? Like am,
Yeah,
am I making
sunburn.
sense?
Lol.
So, yeah,
Yeah, like sunburn and you call the cops
and the
and
crime team is already
Ma'am.
there.
They call you
yeah, like
ma'am, and they call you talk to
hella
you
quick.
respectfully.
Yeah. Ma'am, where is it? What you were removing?
Oh man.
Like,
Wait,
Yeah.
so the entire like the house was like wallpaper with skin?
not the entire house, I would
That
say
room. Oh,
uh, yeah.
I
oh,
mean, that would
Yeah,
be
and it was those missing people. Like it must be like a what do you call it? A
oh,
psychotic person who was just
yeah,
you've heard of people peeling people's skin off, like so serial killers and stuff.
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
They find joy in they get off on this,
Mhm.
like they get off on stuff like this. So probably why he has done it. But you have to also realize the amount of effort one is ready to put into this. Because if you're covering your ceiling and your wallpaper with like people's skin, that's just, I mean,
So
for
God.
starters, just too much work, don't you think?
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Like,
that's what it seems like too much work for the house to be like not occupied by that person anymore.
Yeah,
You know? Like if you were going at like to this much length to actually wallpaper your rooms with skin of your victims,
yeah.
then the like that person would be really attached to the skin or the house. You like they don't just do that and be like, I okay, I'm gonna move out now.
He's doing that.
again,
He's doing
what's
that
to
as
say? Yeah, sorry.
like a like something to remember.
Yeah,
The
exactly,
the
exactly.
whole thing by. So it has to be something that he'll own forever or like keep like a memento or
It's
something.
personal, exactly. It's personal, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's to say he owned the house? Like, what if it was just a house that no one was living in? It was just another property down the block, and
Mm.
he just like, you know. But again, that's not very plausible because
They yeah.
he wouldn't like go so far as to cover it up with nice paint and stuff like that. But
Mm.
Oh, that's really weird. Yeah.
yeah, you want to read some comments? I don't know.
Yeah, I love
Reddit comments are
love
Yeah.
comment
sometimes
sections.
it can go either ways. Okay. Oh, okay. The author has commented. This is a 6 years ago. This post was made 6 years ago.
Mhm.
Thanks for the upvotes, everyone. The story is mostly true, obviously excluding the skin wallpaper.
What?
Come
That
on,
was a
Oh
man. What do
poem.
you
boy. Oh,
mean?
come on.
God.
Though the color and texture of it really does remind me of mummified. Man, get out. Man, come on,
Are you
man.
kidding me?
What do you
Is
mean? The
that
inspiration came from there.
See, I
We
called
don't
it.
have a kitchen yet. We haven't decided where that will go. Fortunately, we're not living there yet, so we have time to decide. Wait, so there really was the names of missing people on the
Yeah.
wall?
So this can be
No,
yeah.
no, no.
no.
Though we did find notations under the paper for when the paper was put up. It was February 14th, 1958. Another was September 27th,
Valentine's
1946.
Day?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Those little tidbits also contributed to my idea. This is a fictional. Bro, come on.
Which subreddit is
Yeah,
this?
short scary
Nah.
stories.
Are you kidding? You picked a
Yeah.
fictional story for the first
I didn't know it
episode.
was fictional, bro.
You said you read
It's a
it,
Yeah.
big
dog.
fail. I read it. I read it. Doesn't
Ah.
it sound, bro? Come on. It's not like it's an impossible story to believe in. People
See,
do all sorts of
no,
weird
my
shit.
first skepticism was like, if it was human skin, you would know. Like, you would suspect and you would check it.
To be
Like,
fair, yeah, he called that out, but like that was too easy. I mean, that was too.
yeah.
Oh man.
And let's say, even if
Uh,
you found like engravings of like this missing people's name and date and all that, it can be some troll. Like, how hard is it to just find like some missing person's information and just put it in some house just before you like vacate, and the next time someone like enters the house, they'll be like, what the fuck is this shit?
yeah.
And they just Google it.
This is damn sus, dude. Shit.
Well, we got played.
Let's read more comments. You're a fucking scam artist. What is this?
Oh
Yeah, man.
no.
My
Oh my
God.
god.
What the fuck is the
Oh.
um uh
Uh,
oh dear lord. And what's creepier is that it's kinda possible. I believe so. I believe so. Yeah. By the way, the first comment wasn't already actually there. It was just my emotion there.
Oh. So that's the
Yeah.
second time you played us.
yeah.
I mean, first
Nice.
I legit I
Yeah.
did not read the
Good job.
comments thinking only it would be good content. People would be like, "Oh, this happened to me also. Oh, where do you live? Louisiana. Oh, I'm in Miami." Something like
Oh my.
that. But
White people banter, huh?
Yeah, nice.
yeah, no, it's not banter. It's just, yeah, I'm sorry, boys.
First story debunked. Very effective.
Debunked.
Well
Adi,
played,
put a cool
boys.
sound effect. Let's say debunked. 3, 2, 1.
Debunked.
Debunked.
Side of
Yeah.
cream.
Um.
Oh no, that was so weird.
Okay. Okay.
Oh
So
man.
first story was I feel so bad. I feel so
Nah,
bad.
nah,
Do we have any other?
you
Do
know,
we have any other real story?
actually, you know what? We should like learn from this. Like, most of these horror
We should
stories,
verify.
Yeah.
not verified. Like, most of these horror stories that we hear could be like total bullshit. It could be a
Jack
story,
shit.
yeah, someone made up, just because thought it was cool. And
Clout.
yeah, but
Yeah.
still, one thing that is like real is the fear when you hear the story. You're
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
oh shit, like,
You make a valid point, Mr. Dinesh.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Quite the intellectual you are, huh?
Thank you,
For real though. Damn, that's really something to think
thank
about.
you.
Wow.
And that's one factor of a good horror story. It can be possible. It could be real.
Yeah, it could
Yeah.
be.
That
Could be.
that brings
Could
more
be.
fear, even for a person who's very skeptical. When the possibility of that happening is very high, you feel like, oh shit, this is scary.
Okay, you being the certified skeptic, do you think something like this could actually happen?
Certified.
Yeah,
I mean, he is kind of certified
How were
I
you
would say-
certified? How was he certified?
because I've known him for
He's not
Oh.
bro. The definition of certified is he has certification.
yeah, I'm getting it soon.
Bro.
I'll get a degree.
yeah,
Come on.
bro.
That ain't a okay.
Dinosaur.
He's certified, bro.
He-
Like you're a certified.
Please do not
sim.
be misleaded.
He's a
Dear
certified-
audience. None of us are certified in any kind of way. We
We
are.
are certified.
Self-claimed
How,
certified.
my guy? Self-certified, bruh. Whack.
Come on.
He's been like this all his life. Why do you think he is the way he is?
Yeah, but he's not certified. You can't just call me a doctor because, like, I feel like
Hey, doctor is like
You
professional
know what I mean when I say
certification, bro.
certified,
Come on.
bro. Look at this uncle, bro.
This
Shit.
guy.
Like shit, man.
we don't want to mislead our audience. What if they're like, oh shit,
Mislead.
Aditya's certified?
This is like, okay, let me Google if he actually is certified.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
Come
Doctor
on.
Aditya Dinesh.
Yeah, there could be. You know what? I'm gonna do it right now.
What?
Dr. Aditya Dinesh. Let's see what comes up.
I'm pretty sure there's someone.
There's at least like 15 Dr. Aditya Dinesh, bro. Come on.
All
Dr.
from
Aditya
Kerala.
Dinesh Gupta.
Eh,
Gupta?
Damn.
I didn't know men changed surnames after they got married. Like, shit.
what?
What?
No, I don't know idea.
Bruh.
I don't know what I'm saying there. Oh, Dinesh is not your last name. That's your. Oh,
It is my last name.
I mean, it's not technically a surname. It's your father's name.
Yeah, we all just met, by the way, for the first
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
I've never seen
Some
these two before.
crazy.
that is crazy. You know?
Okay.
Uh,
So what now?
I'm just yeah. The first episode went off quite well, in my
Very
opinion.
well.
If we
Goddamn.
could have, if we could have a legit story, that would have been, that would have been pretty good. But
Hmm.
Hey, can one of you just give us a sneak peek into one of your experiences, like what has something happened to you that you'd like to share. It's safe space.
it literally isn't. This is going out to. This is
Yes.
going out to
Uh,
like
I
out
mean,
there
yeah.
on the
What's
internet.
the worst that could happen? It's not like the spirit who haunted you is gonna Google this and come running down to you. Do you have a story or not?
I just don't know how to respond. I, I
Yeah.
don't I don't I don't have a story like my story, you know. But uh, I would like to wrap up with this one concluding story, which is not mine. It's a friend of mine's, like a friend's friend. Those kind of stories. So
Mm-hmm.
accuracy is like it's not assured. I'm not gonna say, oh, this happened. So whatever. So a friend of mine, I was telling Andy about this. Uh, Mohammed, he was a good friend of mine when I was back in
Oh, are you allowed to take his name?
Yeah.
Jim, my friend. My
Okay.
friend Jim, from my old school. We used to call him Jimothy. So
We're from India, bro. You can't
shut
say
up, shut
Jim.
up, shut
Just
up,
say
shut up, shut up. Like
Ramesh or
Jimothy,
something.
Jimothy was
This guy's so white, bro.
Jimothy was I think in Ooty or somewhere. He
Yeah.
was doing. He was on a vacation with his family and friends, and he was with his cousin. Now his cousin, like Jimothy, was a pretty big guy. Like for a ninth grade, he was like, I think he was
Chunky.
6. No, like
Oh.
tall, like bulky and tall. Like,
Oh.
he was 6 in ninth grade, which is kind of crazy. And
Normal people are 14 in ninth grade, bro. Okay.
Normal people. Okay.
yeah, what does
Continue.
normal people
Continue.
mean, Anand?
Please do.
Bro, you're so
Hey,
problematic, man. I don't know. Okay,
bro, like,
let me
come
just get.
on, man. People who started schooling when they were 6 years. I was going for
I
an
meant
age.
6 feet
Okay,
tall.
man. I know that's.
The joke didn't
Okay.
land.
It
It did.
Okay,
absolutely
It
did
did.
bro.
not.
It did.
Clearly didn't.
Height. So
Let's move
he's
on.
6 feet tall, pretty bulky, and his cousin, Jimothy's cousin, was taller and bulkier and scarier than him. Like he was like a more rowdy looking fellow.
Bigfoot. I don't know. It's just. Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is where
Timothy.
you put the music in. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, they were walking down the road, and Jimothy always told me that he found his cousin brother to be like so cool. Like he looked at him as like, I want to be like him. Like I want to be how badass he is. That kind of respect he had. And he was like, oh, he was afraid of nothing. Like that guy could beat up anyone and everyone. And he remembers like walking with him, and then like side by side, and then he continued walking, and then he looked to the right. This is like mid, like in the afternoon. Okay, so he's like, oh shit, he's not walking with me. He turned around to look at his cousin. Okay, and his cousin was looking beyond Jimothy, like beyond him. And he looked back. Jimothy looked back to see what his cousin was looking at, and saw nothing. So he turned back and looked at his cousin, and just looked at him. And I mean, he swore to me when he told me the story. He said he was shaking. The cousin was shaking. He was sweating, and his skin color went pale. You know how your lip quivers, your bottom lip quivers and shit. Like he went pale, he stopped, and he's just staring beyond Jimothy. And he said, I don't know what he saw because he never told me. Like, he kept asking him, and he said nothing. It was just, I saw something. And the cousin didn't want to tell him what he saw because he was afraid that, oh, he'll make fun of him for being afraid. But Jimothy knew that the cousin saw something when there was nothing behind him. You know, he had that 1,000-yard stare, just looking, and it was like they were just joking and talking, and suddenly he's converted to this state of intense panic and fear, and just like this dread. You could see it in his eyes. So he was like, either my brother suddenly became the best actor in the world, or he saw something. And again, this is like, we can't confirm or deny the story because it hasn't happened to me, or he says the story is 100% true. But again, this was back when, like, a couple years ago, and I remember him telling me the story. And yeah, it's always got me thinking, like, that's why fear is so relative and subjective and personal. Like, some small thing can be like, oh, it's nothing, it's just a thing. But our reactions to these horrifying stimuli is where the essence of fear and horror comes through. The way we react to the things we see, or the encounters or experiences we have. So he's saying, bro, my cousin brother, the coolest, most badass guy, who's like such a thug, like, you be afraid to talk to him and like say anything disrespectful. Suddenly he became a 3-year-old cowering, whimpering boy. And that intrigued him, and that made him believe the story, because he's like, this is not my cousin brother, this is someone who's genuinely afraid. So when he told me that story, that's why it stuck with me, because of his interpretation of his cousin's fear that was plastered on his face, like visible on his face. So
So when I was listening to the story, when you were saying it,
yeah.
I was listening to the story in a way that I'm just looking past the narration, the whole narration part. What you were doing is like you were making it like super serious situation. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, my initial like theory to this whole thing was,
Hmm.
like, what was the situation? Like, where were they walking to?
I think they were returning to their hotel rooms or something. Like, they were vacationing in Ooty or some shit.
Okay, so makes sense. So what I thought was, so the Jimothy's brother or whoever this guy was, he really had to take a like massive dump. Okay, it's like he couldn't
Oh
control.
my god,
He just couldn't
dog.
control. Listen to me. Is this a shout? Okay, so he really had to go, and they're walking, and like he can't control it. The least he could do was leave like nice, calm fart. Just get some relieving going. So he just stopped,
Oh, bro, you're
and he
disgusting.
just like focused real hard.
And he shat
And
himself. Say it. Don't do the build up. Just say it.
not necessarily, maybe he successfully did like fart, like put a silent fart. And then how embarrassing would it be, like, if your like brother asked,
That does make sense in a
yeah,
weird, twisted way.
yeah. So rather than
Like,
saying I shit
Are
my
you
fucking
kidding
pants
me?
or I just farted,
or
he could
you said he
say,
was a big guy, right?
yeah. I
He,
mean,
he
he
was,
can.
bro. He was the
Probably
kind of
behind,
bro. He was the kind
yeah,
of alpha who would
behind
be like, oh, I
Jimothy
have to
was.
take. Bro, he's like, the way he
Dude, Jimothy looks up to him. Think about that.
dude, the way Jimothy described him was like, if he's such an alpha, if he had to take a shit, he'll just drop his pants and take a shit, like, on the road.
I don't know
I
if
don't
that
know about that.
qualifies alpha behavior, bro.
Bro,
Like,
I would do that.
that's just
I
clown
don't give a shit.
behavior.
I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna shit my pants. I'll shit on the fucking road, bro. What do you do?
Wow, bro.
I will redact these statements
Uh,
later. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, that's a stupid theory.
but
Get lost.
I'm just saying it's a theory.
Nah,
what
yeah,
what other things could have possibly happened? Like, okay, he went pale, never recovered or what, bro?
no, no,
Like,
no. That's all. Like, as I
he's
said,
still just chilling there, like 6 feet.
Like,
They made him a
it was
custom
just
bed and
one
shit.
moment. Like,
Like,
if that happened to me, it wouldn't have been like something significant. And even the fact that he didn't mention about that or anything, I would just forget it after like 2 minutes. Like I don't know
Can
what.
you follow up with Timothy about this?
Uh,
Jimothy, whoever,
I'll
bro.
see.
Just
I'll
use
see.
Indian names next
I will
time
see.
on.
I'll try for next. I'll try to get back in touch.
Yeah, just ask him that.
Yeah,
What did his cousin say once he
that's what. Apparently, he said nothing.
recovered?
But again, maybe I've forgotten that part of the story. But what do you think
Hmm.
he? Let's end with this question. Okay. What do you think he saw?
He was in Ooty, you said.
Yeah.
I think he could have been under the influence of
Psych,
certain substance, you know.
um,
I
psychic
mean, I don't know.
substances.
Probably,
Like,
maybe.
and Ooty is a very scenic place, you know. Maybe even the walk to the hotel could have been something you don't really see every day, and his mind couldn't comprehend it when he was under the influence. So he just saw some madness. Like he probably saw uh, a hanging Jimothy. I mean, your theory is like you want to take a dump or some
Yeah,
shit.
I
Why
I
not?
was just trying to be realistic, like that's what I would do. Like if I took a shit and my cousin's asking me like, bro, what happened? I would like straight up say, bro, I saw a freaking ghost. I saw Jimothy like hanging there. Yeah, I would say that just to escape. It's more realistic. Hanging Jimothy, that's like, bro, where did you get that from?
Okay. So now, can I let you in
Uh,
on a little secret? I want to conclude
Yeah.
with this. I think this is
oh
a fine
no,
spot to conclude.
no! Don't tell me this is a made-up story, bro.
No,
No,
it's
no, no.
not.
I think he has something. Yeah, continue.
Okay.
I
What I wanted to say is that I was the cousin,
Uh,
and
no.
what I saw that day was Adi's mom. Okay, thank you guys for
oh
joining the first
shit.
episode
Oh
of
my god. My god.
Untitled Campfire Project.
My
I feel like that's a
fucking
great
god.
way we can end. We'll see you on the next episode.
Okay.
You can DM in either three of
uh,
us with your stories and experiences,
uh,
and we'll get in touch with you. This has been fun. Boys,
Ah,
take your salutations.
um,
fucking hell.
Got him.
uh, bro, like you're
Jesus
not,
Christ,
you're
bro.
barely 5'5", bro. That's what's funny. Man's like
Okay, they don't want to. They
6 feet.
don't want to give a
Seriously, you
salutation,
hype
so
it
I will
up.
wrap it up. Thank you guys. We'll see you in the next episode.
Jesus.
Peace.